Let's appreciate Pastor Loba as he comes.
Thank you so much. Welcome, every one of you. Thank you for being here today. And it's a beautiful thing to be the host of this amazing product business. So why don't we pray and get started? Father, thank you for the occasion as your child steps out to a place that she's passionate about. And today, as we come around her and just to support her in this journey, Lord, we ask of your presence to abound and abide. And I pray that you'll help us to catch and understand the thing that is being launched today, so that, Lord, we will support in every way we know how. And so we thank you for that. And I pray that, Lord, reduce this heat. We thank you for that in Jesus' name.
Amen. Powerful stuff, powerful stuff. The heat is going to reduce, I assure you. Our God is power. But right about now, I want to just recognize a few people who are in the presence. I want to appreciate Sharon herself. She's back there, just wave at us. Yes, looking great today. Powerful stuff. I want to recognize the parents. Mommy back there, doing a good job. Yes, and every other person in every category that you're in, mentioned or unmentioned, I want to thank you for making time to be here today. But in a special, I want to recognize a group of people who are ministers there, a group from WAPI, if I say that right. Just wave at us. Yeah, these two people right here, they're doing a great job. They're streaming the event live. So if someone is at home and they would like to catch the event and they're not able to come here, they can just log on to Instagram. The page is Rusanga underscore Sharon. Rusanga underscore Sharon, and on YouTube and Twitter as well. Yes, yes, you can find the event live there. So today, as you can see behind me, we are launching, planning for big dreams. I myself have had big dreams this year. Wanted to get married, but
The problem is you want it.
I wanted, but now the year is gone. I can't get a girl. We do premarital, we do wedding meetings in this few days that are left. So I'll have to push that to next year. But I would like to know if anyone in the audience, if you had a big plan this year that has not really come to pass, if you would just like to share, anyone, you had a big plan, but that didn't happen. And what I would like to know why, because I think today is an important day if you're a person who likes to plan your things and keep them in check. So no one is offering to do it. I just choose for myself if that is okay with all of you. There's a gentleman just right next to me here. I hope you're steady, right? You're steady. I know you're steady. You look steady, my guy. You look steady. Don't worry. So just tell us if you had a plan this year that didn't happen. Why did it happen?
Why are you negative?
No, I would like
Why can't we talk about it?
okay, if you had a plan that's going to that pass through it, how did it go? Yes.
Everything that I think I had planned for this year happened.
Powerful stuff.
Don't go into the details, but yes, everything.
Powerful. Let's appreciate him. I don't know how you did it personally. I think about only 30% of what I planned came to pass. Like I said, my wedding didn't happen. A lot of other things also didn't happen. But yes, right about now, allow me to invite our group from Wapi to just tell us more about what they do. If you're here and you're into digital marketing, you're into graphics design, or you have a child who is into graphic design and all the digital uh, environment that is on in Uganda. COVID affected us a lot this year. People lost jobs. Even those who still have jobs are working on half pay. So things are not doing great. A lot of young people have gone into what they call the gig economy. You get someone to hire you for 2 hours. You influence an event. You do for them a poster and stuff like that. That's how people have been surviving throughout the year personally. That's how I've been surviving on gigs. And these two people here have an amazing product that they have on the market. that helps young people find jobs in the gig economy, but also help people who are employing to find the right people to employ. So allow me welcome Natasha to just tell us more about WAPI and what they do. Just appreciate that she comes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. MC, for the opportunity, and thank you, everyone that is here. My name is Natasha Kattanbachi. I am the team head and a co-founder at WAPI. Right there is Collins Bulachalo. Collins is the head of technology and the founder at WAPI. So what WAPI is a talent marketplace. We have built a platform where freelancers that have digital skills can sign up and get access to earning opportunities. And then employers, business owners, or startup founders can hire these freelancers affordably, easily, and just at a tap of a finger on our web-based application. So basically, what we are trying to do is to try and reduce the rates of unemployment in Uganda and in Africa, because in the formal workplace there's a lot of competition, and in Uganda itself we have over 40,000 youth that leave the university to compete for only 9,000 available formal jobs. So what we're trying to do is to divert this traction by empowering people to take on gigs in the gig economy, and therefore, empower their lives economically and also have something to do. So if you want to check out our platform, it's on www.wapi.ug. We also recently rolled out an events feature whereby we help people that have events to host their events online, stream them, have a website that is fully dedicated to your event. People can sign up, register, generate tickets for their events, and people can attend your event in a hybrid kind of way. Because of COVID and everything that has been happening in the world, we know that now people are going more for hybrid things, and people may not be able to come for your events physically, but they can attend both online and physically. So that's mostly it. I will not take up much of the time. In case anyone wants to get any further details about WAPI, or you would like to engage us, you have an upcoming event, or you'd simply like to hire, or you're a freelancer and you want to sign up, we shall be over there, Collins and I, and we shall be more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much. I wish you a great afternoon.
Thank you, Natasha. That was well executed. I hope it was clear. I think I'm going to sign up myself. I need to get some of that gig money. It suits. I'm looking at these people who have MacBooks, and there's money there. I think I'll just quit my job and just join new people. I think you're making more money than I am. But anyway, that's a powerful thing you're doing right there, and I like it. It's young people like Sharon, who are stepping up to do something about what's happening in Uganda and in the world at large, which is really unemployment in the developing countries, Uganda, Kenya, African countries really, they are suffering a lot with the problem of unemployment. And I like that people are coming out to solve the problem, they're not waiting for the government or a new leader to solve these problems, but they're taking the matter themselves to change something in this country of ours, the Pearl of Africa. So, yeah, that's a very good opportunity. Right about now, as people coming in, uh, I want to invite, because today is about planning for big dreams. I want to invite a few people who have big dreams, and they're going to tell us how they are achieving these big dreams, how they are planning to achieve these big dreams, how they have achieved them, if they've already achieved them, and which big dreams they have, if there are any challenges in pursuing dreams. Because I know lately people are pursuing more of their passions, but that of course comes with all the challenges of people don't have capital to start, people don't have resources and all these things. So allow me invite Sharon, Natasha, and Ashley to the stage with me. Yes, Ashley, you're shocked. I'm inviting you. That is right. Yes, I'm going to invite them just to come and just tell us, because it's the young ladies, but they are dreaming big. They're doing big things. Please have a seat. Okay. Okay.
Hi guys, thank you for coming. Slight change. We're gonna have someone tell us something nice. Esther Kalenzi, I welcome you to the stage before we have our panel discussion.
Esther. All right. Powerful.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-uh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Some energy, Bambi, we gave you juice. Yes, pray for that juice that you took. I'm going to greet again, and if you're not loud, MC here is going to help us collect money for the planning fund. Money made these books. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Thank you. That's much better. I'm glad that you could make it. I know that there's, oh my goodness, festive season, weddings. There's so much that's going on. But then you honored Sharon's invite out of all the places that you could be today, and we don't take it for granted. For the parents who are in here, I just hope that you can pick a leaf from how Sharon's parents have supported her dream and put this together. We hear ideas from young people every day, and in your head, you're just like, we'll do that, we'll do that. Oh, those are things you get from watching TV. You need to first finish your books, but it's possible to do well in school and still do other things, and Sharon has shown us. I am so proud. Can you tell? Can you tell from how I am so proud of Sharon? I'll tell you a short story which is very related to this event. So around this time last year, I was working on a product, on a couple of products actually, that are also about journaling and self development. And I went to a restock. I love Christmas. I love to get cards. I love to get gifts. And I was buying cards for my people who are not in the country. And so I had some familiar voices somewhere in a corner. I'm like, but I know these people. So I just peeped like this, and then I saw Sharon, Shakaina, and Emma. And of course, I screamed. I'm sorry for the other shoppers in Aristo. Saying, oh my goodness, what are you guys doing here? Sharon tells me, oh, I'm trying to buy a journal, but then the journals that are on the market are not the kind that I like. I told her, funny you should mention, because I'm working on a journal right now, but it's not yet ready. And she said, really, I want one which has lines like this, and which has colors like this, and which has sections like this. I said, say no more, I got you. So I opened my phone, and then I showed her a picture of the pages, and she's like, this is exactly what I want. You know what Sharon did? She opened her wallet and gave me the money for the journal which she had not even seen. Now, I want to tell you that we have people in our lives whom we think love us, who we think have money, who we know have even more resources, but you will tell them to do things for you, and they'll just be like, yeah. And they will not. But this young girl, I say young girl because I've now reached that auntie age where I'm like, I carried you when you were a baby. Oh my goodness, look at you, you're so grown up. All the things people used to say to me, I'm also now saying to Sharon and my other cousins. But I was so humbled by Sharon leaving all the beautiful, Aristoc. It has all the products, yeah, and they're not made here. She left everything and said, "Let me support this." And indeed, when the products came, she was one of the very first people that I delivered to, and she gave me feedback, and I didn't take that lightly. So when she told me that she was doing this, I just wish that I was a billionaire so that I could fund the entire project, because I know what a hustle looks like. I know what it looks like to look for the resources, to call people who are not responding, for the printing person to suddenly get phone issues on the day that you want your product, for the design person to be carrying a million clients, and then you also have to be fixed in there. And so I told her, you know what, whatever you need, I got you. We were texting at 2 a.m. last night, and I was telling her, I know you must be anxious. I have put together events for a good 10 years of my life, and things don't go as you plan. Yeah? You make plans for rainy weather, it's hot. You pray for hot weather, that's the day it decides to rain. But I'm so glad that this day has come. And one of the things that really inspired me to do the journaling project is because I have loved to write since I was a young girl. I used to write a lot in primary school, in high school, and journaling helped me to put the things that are here onto paper and sort of deal with them. I keep saying that when I have a problem and then I write it, it's halfway gone. Or if I tell someone, it's halfway gone. So it's something that I encourage everyone to do. It's your own personal book. You don't have to have a beautiful handwriting. You don't have to have the best pen. Just write today. This is what happened to me. I attended Sharon's launch and it was a blast. And now I'm inspired to follow this dream that I had put aside for I don't know how many years. But also, this planner is going to allow you to see your year at a glance. So imagine this time next year. It sounds like it's so far, but we were just saying Happy New Year yesterday, and now the year is ending. So I think this is such a great product that will benefit all of us, all ages. It's really nice to plan and actually see your plans getting into fruition. The same way we pray to God and then we forget the prayers, and then 5 years later you're like, oh my god, this is the exact car that I wanted. No, 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 put it down on paper so that you will see that date when you wrote that, or when you put a picture of that dream car or of that dream job and it actually came to life. And for the younger people, Emma and the rest of you, I hope that especially because she is the firstborn, that you will be inspired by her to pursue all the dreams of your heart. There are certain things that won't come true, but there are some that will. And if the pandemic has taught us anything, is that tomorrow is not guaranteed. So if the thing comes to your head right now, in this moment, tonight, just do whatever you can to pursue it. And who knows, it just might come true. Thank you so much.
Well done. That was. Let's just add some. Yes, she has done. I'm actually inspired right now already. I may get married before the year ends. But yes, like I was saying, that's like she has said. Ideas need to put on paper. That's the way you can follow up the ideas, because you can dream and then the dream just goes away. Like I said, I didn't get married this year, but I didn't write it anywhere, so I didn't follow up. That's what I'm still seeing right now. But yes, I want to write it when the year is beginning, and I'm sure by the end of 2022, Pastor Lorobo will give you because I'll come for pre-marital and all that stuff. Yes, but right now, allow me invite the ladies I invited earlier, Sharon, Natasha, and Ashley, to just come and inspire us some more, like their elder sister has done. I'm inspired. I wish you were my elder sister. But yes, let's just appreciate them as they come.
Hi guys. Hi again. Esther told you we already gave you our juice. So after we give you our juice, you must say hi back. So I'm going to let the other ladies introduce themselves and then we can get started with our panel discussion.
Hi everyone. I hope you're not bored so far. My name is Moronji, and I look forward to having an interactive discussion with you all. Hi everyone. I think everyone already knows me. Once again, for those who did not hear, my name is Natasha and I am from Wapi, and I am glad to be here.
Thank you guys for honoring my invitation. Thank you guys for honoring my invitation and actually coming through to hear us give a few insights, our young brain insights that we have. So, guys, what have you done so far to manage your time well?
Um, Personally, I do not like wasting my time or anyone's time. So for a long time, I have been planning with or without journals. I use sticky notes. By the time I wake up in the morning, I already know what I am going to do the whole day. And if something comes in between that I don't,
Of course, there's a little commotion, but regardless, we move. But generally, I plan and make sure I stick to that plan.
Thank you very much, Sharon. I'm not really a journal person. However, I use like ordinary notebooks. So it was very hard, but I got into the habit of always planning my day before the day starts. So by the time I go to bed, I have a list of the things that I am going to do in order of their priority. But of course, like she said, there are always those things that come in between, especially when you're working. Something abrupt, comes up and you need to do it fast. So what I do to try and save my time and make sure I go back to what I had planned, I always find a way to do it easier and faster so that it doesn't take up much of the time that I was supposed to use.
Okay, that's quite insightful. Don't go the way you planned. How do you deal with that? When you plan and things go south. At least those that have organized this launch for me know how far things can go, how far south they can go. I hate things going south because I just like things to go the way I plan them to be. And if they don't, we've been trained to adjust as African children, be flexible. I don't tell the story. I don't know to tell that story. Okay, now they're telling you where you should. So like, for example, you wake up in the morning and mommy has told you are going somewhere, so you cancel all your day's activities because you're going somewhere, and somehow you don't go. So what am I supposed to do now? You adjust, sleep, read by force. So yeah, if things go south, I adjust. I have learned to deal with it. Be patient, take it one step at a time, and not panic. Because when you panic, they keep getting worse. So take a deep breath, calm down, and pick up from wherever they have gone and see where to go forward from.
Yeah, thank you. That's quite interesting because usually when you're a perfectionist and then you plan something and it doesn't go as planned, you're all like everything just is chaos and things like that. And I happen to be one of those. But one habit I have gotten into as well is the art of managing my expectations, knowing that in whatever I am doing, I am not a one man's island. I'm not going to do it alone. I definitely have other people that I'm with, and they are not like me. Everyone is different, everyone does things differently. So even when you plan, you need to manage your expectations. Like, know that this is what I have planned for, but because I'm working with different people, something could go wrong, something could happen like this. So in that way, when you leave room for a little, I don't want to call it failure exactly, when you leave some room, when that thing does happen, it does not hurt you as much as it could have. Yeah.
Muruji studied psychology at university, right? Please give us some insight on how does one's mental health affect their routine, or how does routine affect mental health? Okay, I studied industrial psychology, but I still know human psychology. And personally, I have seen routine affect my mental health or people's mental health. Take, for example, the first lockdown that was so long. We were all used to going to school every day, working, and then suddenly we're not doing that anymore. So our routine is distorted and we're kind of stuck mentally and physically. You have to pick up something new to do with your life at that point. And a lot of people got into depression and stressed. Being a psychologist, I had a lot of my peers come to me like, "Oh, you did psychology, so can you help me? I am depressed. I'm home all day. I'm not used to this. It's so stressing. I feel like killing myself. I want to run away from home." So, change of routine
can cause people to go into depression, anxiety, stress, which all are mental disorders that sadly in Africa and Uganda have been ignored and dismissed as problems of the Western world, problems of the rich, and a lot of the ordinary people like us suffer them and they don't even realize what it is. Their siblings, friends be like, ah, she has her problems, leave her. And before you know it, someone actually ends up in a mental hospital or she's dead. Because I realize there's a thin line between suicidal thoughts during depression and actually the act. During the first lockdown, a lot of young people died and it was all suicide. Home was so depressing that they ended up taking their lives. So change of routine can take a serious toll on someone's life without them even knowing. And again, mental health on someone's routine. Uh, Mental health disorders like stress and depression cause people to change. They change their behavior, they change their thought structure, they change what they do. Someone who was very active, out there, alive, and then they go into depression. One day they just don't want to do anything anymore, and it causes them to withdraw. It causes them to lack a social life. They keep to themselves, and they're not. It causes lack of productivity, ineffectiveness. It also affects our eating habits and our sleep patterns, which eventually lead to terminal illnesses like ulcers. And yeah, that's basically most of it. I think I've over talked. Thank you.
Actually, when I think about mental health and my routine, another thing we do not discuss a lot is anxiety. And for me, when I plan, it reduces on my anxiety. Mommy used to tell me, you are not no, you are not overwhelmed, you're just disorganized. So, in short, she's saying, please organize yourself, you will not be overwhelmed. Because before you know it, you've entered class and the lecturer is telling you you had an assignment. And you're like, by the way, which assignment? And then you're going to work and you have your boss saying, by the way, send me the minutes of this meeting. You're like, about which meeting? So you end up being overwhelmed. And if I'm overwhelmed, I start being anxious. It even gets worse for some people. They start shaking, they start having panic attacks. And these are things people, you may not know why you're having a panic attack, and yet it's actually on your routine. Once you have yourself organized, then you can't have these panic attacks and anxiety attacks. So I really do believe uh, your routine can affect your mental health in that way. Natasha, do you have?
Yeah, I definitely do agree. I've gotten panic attacks before because I realized that I was supposed to do very many things, and then I started, skimming through the things I had done, and I hadn't even gotten halfway, and then you start thinking of the repercussions of that, or maybe the work going into the next week, and yet the week also has its own work. So I definitely do agree. I think that when you balance your time well, organize your time well, you will know what to do first and what to do last. You will know what is most important and what is less important. And therefore, you reduce the stress on yourself and generally like the weight of everything that you have to do. So, yeah.
In addition to that, when you think about it, when you prioritize, I like what you said, prioritizing. When you prioritize, before I used to think, how can someone start planning? And then someone says, you know what, just write everything you have to do down. Once you write it down, it's easier to see what's important and what's not important. You know, you can have clutter in your mind when you don't, it's very unnecessary. Think in your mind, I have to call my father, I have to do shopping. Surely there are some of those things that are not important or they're not urgent. You get? So by writing it down, by organizing yourself, that means you declutter your mind and say, this is what I have to do. And when I have to do it, I'm prioritizing because this is what has the most repercussions. This has less repercussions, things like that. So I do agree, it can affect your mental health. So Natasha, being the busy lady you are, how do you limit distractions and manage deadlines?
Thank you very much. Um, how to limit distractions and manage deadlines? Like you said, you when you have so many things that are not written down, you have clutter in your mind. So everything is all over the place, right? But when you write down things, you write them down, keep looking at them, and then you're seeing, okay, this has more repercussions than this. This is the deadline. This one is not more important. So it helps you to focus because there is something that you're looking at, yeah, and it constantly reminds you of what you're supposed to do and when the deadline is due. So in that way, you're looking at that, so you may not be easily distracted, yeah, other than someone who just keeps tasks in their mind. So you have like five things, but because you've done two and you've probably forgotten the other three, an ad comes up and then you end up watching like something on YouTube. Before you know it, 2 hours have gone, and then you're like, oh my god, I had to submit a report and it's already late, right? But when you write down, it helps you to focus. It helps you to know that, okay, this is the time. And it's not just a matter of writing down, but also there's something they call projecting time. Yeah. Estimating that this task is going to take this amount of time. So if it's going to take this amount of time, what time should I wake up? What time should I spend? Maybe if you're not working from home, what time should I spend on the road going home? What time should I use for my breakfast? So that by such and such a time I am done doing this task, so that you're able to accomplish deadlines. But when you leave everything all over the place, even your execution will be all over the place. So planning well, planning in advance, projecting time for different things you're supposed to do helps you to not only meet deadlines, but also you to be organized. Yeah. To strike a balance between your personal life and your work life. Because if you're not able to do your things on time, then you'll find yourself working on the weekend, or your friends are going to have dinner and you're in front of your PC working.
You've said something really important: work-life balance, work and personal balance. When you think about, especially us that have just gotten into the job market, there is a time you're in school and it's just school you're doing, and you're probably doing what, 8 courses per sem, and for the better part you have more or less time to yourself. So when you get to the workspace and then you do not actually have as much time to yourself, how do you balance both work and school? Sorry, and your friends, your family, because life is all round. You can't focus on life on work. Pardon me, on work. Those are the workaholics we call, and they are not really very fun people to be around. Yeah, you have to have a family, you have to have friends, you have to have a community, you have to have church, all these other things. So how can someone that has just gotten into the job market balance all the other life things?
Okay. Personal experience. Personally, because I don't know, because of psychology or because I love my life too much, I prioritize mental health so much, and the other things come after. So I cannot. Plus, I have a motto: I'm not on this earth to just pay bills and die. So we all work for money, but I'm not going to just work, get paid, put the money in the bank, and then I don't know. I don't enjoy the money, and So I make sure that by the end of the week, I have done all my work that needs to be done for that time, and we move on to my life. I have to go to church, and I have to rest. I know that it's like a priority for me that I have to rest. I can't start the next week when I'm still tired. Trust me, if the next week starts and I'm still tired, I'm getting a day off. Because it makes me unproductive. What am I doing at work if I am not working? So, plus I know that fatigue, distress, overworking, it's going to get me sick. Do I want to get my money and spend it in the hospital because I am overworking? No. So I prioritize my mental health. Working and not balancing work and life, really, I know that affects everyone's mental health. Some people don't see it. Even workaholics, it's not them. Okay, let me not speak psychologically, but yeah. Plus, I don't know. It's a disorder. They don't from psychology. Okay, what I know, it is a disorder. A normal person cannot just work and work and work. You need to do other things with your life. So, me to balance life and work, I prioritize my mental health. I prioritize my physical health. I prioritize my life. Like even the people I have worked for, I think they know because if I go to work when I'm tired in the morning, they will say, "Moronji, go home." So first, mostly they feel sorry for me because I've always been the youngest wherever I have worked. But then again, because they know I'm a psychologist, I worked at a place where they know that I'm a psychologist, and they'll be like, if I have an event on Saturday and Sunday, and I'm tired, Monday is going to be a day for Moronji. The rest want to go to work, go and work. Plus, I make sure I am excellent. That when I say I need leave, they know that I have done all my work. Or if I come back, I am going to do all my work. So when I am working, I give my all. I don't just work. I like to give my all. One time, a friend asked me, "But hey, you've done so well. I had done an event somewhere, and I felt like I had not done to the best of my abilities, and I looked disappointed." So he asked me, "But you've done so well. What's the problem?" So I told him, "I know I can do better." And yeah, so when I'm working, I give my best so that when I need to rest, there are no questions.
Wow. First of all, I want to work at your workplace where you guys get leaves on Monday for working over the weekend. Wow. Anyways, so I'm going to break this down into scenarios. So one time I was attending a conference, a youth conference at church, and then someone was preaching, and he said that he was talking about like people who spend a lot of their time at work, trying to make money and all those things. And he said that when you're in the hospital, when you're in a hospital bed, or when you're at your wedding, or like those big things that happen in our lives, the laptops you've bought, or the money, or the car, they will not attend your wedding for you, or they will not be at your bedside. So you need to make time for people. That's one. But then on the other hand also, we cannot have fun with our friends, or we cannot live our personal lives when we don't have money, because then it will not be nice. Even relationships are hard when there is no money. Yes. So what does that imply for us? That implies that we need to strike a balance between the two. We need to live a good life in our personal lives, but then we also need to live a good life at work. So what does that imply? That implies that know how to use your time. If you have said that between 8 and 5 I am going to be working, let it be work. Let your boyfriend or your friends know that if we have dinner, we are going to have it at 6. Yes, they're going to say you're very principled and all those things, but let it be work. So that by the time I'm leaving work at 5, I am not on my phone checking emails while having dinner with Sharon. Yeah, because I was able to finish all my tasks during that day. So even when I am having time with Sharon, I am having quality time with her, right? If you have planned your things well, assigned time to them, and actually focused on doing them, by the time the weekend comes, you have time to go to ginger and have fun with your friends, and you will not be receiving calls because there is something you did not finish. And even when you're resting, like she said, if you didn't do something well, you will sleep, but you will not be sleeping. Your eyes will be closed, but your heart will be racing. You'll have high blood pressure because you know that there is something you did not finish, and it's going to pile up your work on Monday. So if it's work time, let it be work time. Do your tasks, finish them, do them well, satisfactorily. Yeah. Um, Let God say, well done, good and faithful servant, and then, yeah, so that's when the weekend comes, you're able to have time for your family and everything. So generally, it comes back to planning. Even in the personal life, you need to plan. If we had planned to go for a trip and you're supposed to come back at 7 p.m. on a Sunday, so that you get good rest and then be able to wake up on Monday for work, don't come back at 9 p.m. because your girlfriends insisted and what, because then you'll be tired for Monday, like she said, and then you'll end up getting a leave which is unwanted and all those things. So it basically all comes back to planning.
Thank you, guys. That's insightful. That's quite insightful. Let's talk about one more thing: procrastination. I would have shot myself in the foot if I left this podium without talking about procrastination. So, have you guys suffered from procrastination before? Do you want to share experiences?
I have suffered from procrastination. You guys, you have no idea. I think even this year, actually, this year, because I finished my bachelor's degree in June. So I was supposed to write a report and an end of year project, so that because we are supposed to graduate next year in March. But because of work and everything, I kept on saying, this one is not so important. I'll do it next month. I'll do it. You guys, it's been I don't know how many months, and I haven't. I recently completed it just I think this month when at the start of December, I was like, you know what, this is getting out of hand. You need to, at least take out at least 2 hours of your day every day, do something small until you finish. So and sometime I was reading somewhere and it said that procrastination is the thief of time, because like I've said, you say I want to do this next week, I want to do it on Wednesday, before you know it 3 months are gone, 4 months are gone, and you've not done anything. So procrastination is the thief of time. However, I know also that no one procrastinates under normal circumstances. No one procrastinates on free will. Probably they have a lot of things to do, or a few cases of a few cases of laziness and things like that. But I think that when you plan well, and however non-important, because people have different things that are important to them. School might be very important to her, it might not be very important to me, or it might be important to me and not important to her. But I think that when you plan and then you say, okay, this thing is not as important as the things I'm doing at work, but maybe let me pick out 2 hours of my time before I go to bed and work on it every day, every day. By the end of 1 month, you'll have done some progress. Yeah.
Um, okay, I hate procrastination because it causes distress. It piles up work, and I find myself panicking, which I do not like, or working under pressure, which again I do not like. My experience, I think, was the same as hers. It was about my research while I was completing my university. It happened during the lockdown that was supposed to finish, the first lockdown. Yeah, I had time. That was the problem. I had time. I had time that was uncertain. We didn't know when that lockdown was going to end. They kept making empty promises. Next week became next week. Next month became next month. So every time I would start like chapter one, and then they would say, we're not doing this anymore. No opening schools." Then I would stop there. And so when they eventually opened, I had to do my research in one night. And when I did, the computer crashed the next morning. And I had to do it again in one night. So it was so much pressure, so much distress. I felt like I was not going to graduate because my supervisor was harsh. The only consolation I had was I think most of my peers are worse than me, so It happened to be that in my group, as the only one who had actually done the work. And yeah, it was a miracle that my research that was done in one night was approved, which people take months to approve.
Procrastination. Hmm? Do you know when you have an assignment to hand in before 11:59, and at 11 you're in chapter 1?
Have you seen that meme? Assignment 11:59, but I was 11:58.
Yes, I'm on a border trying to get my work done at 11:58. Probably I'm from church or somewhere, but ideally that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. And I read somewhere where this man said procrastination. Actually, this is where I agree with you. Procrastination, someone doesn't do it consciously. It's so subconscious that you would. He says subconscious. Procrastination is when, I'm trying to remember the exact quote so that I do not paraphrase. So in your subconscious, okay, let me just paraphrase. In your subconscious, you do not want to do this work. When you go and look back on everything you procrastinate about, it is either work. You never procrastinate on going out.
Right?
You never procrastinate on having fun with your friends. It is always something about school. That means there's something in you that doesn't want to do the work or this particular work. Or you find it daunting, you find it hard, you find it all these other things, you find it boring. So that's also another impact or another cause of procrastination. So you have to get yourself out and say, you know what, this is important to me and I have to do it. Because if I don't do it, so I'm not going to graduate. Or if I don't do it, I won't get a salary. Or if I don't do it, I'll get fired. Because you see, all these things revolve around a repercussion that is way bigger than not going out. Where you're like, I kind of don't want to go out of bed. You kind of don't want to go out of bed only when it's school time or only when it's work time. So, another thing about procrastination that I want to mention as we close is, you see that thief of time? Imagine a monkey, you know, a monkey that is stealing your time, a monkey that is stealing your time. And when a deadline comes up, this monkey runs away. Do you know what comes in next? Panic. Panic and anxiety. So, but imagine a life or imagine plans or dreams or ideas that don't have deadlines. You see how they die? Because there is nothing like the panic. This monkey is, there's no panic scaring the monkey away, the monkey that is stealing your time. So you end up living 4 5 years 10 years down the line procrastinating on your dreams, procrastinating on your ideas, or procrastinating on your vision because there is no deadline for it. No one was pushing me to have this launch, so if I did have it, no one would know that I needed to have it. So you see, you've procrastinated on a dream that could set you up for life. You never know. Everything we're doing right now is trial and error, and it can never be too late. I don't think it's too late. When you think about procrastination, you're like, I will sign up for that course later. I will go back to school later, or I will start that business later. I will get married later. All these other dreams that you have, all these things, there are people's dreams like that. You have your dreams and work on your dreams today, and don't let that thief of time take your dream away from you. That is our conversation.
Let's appreciate them as they take their seats. Yeah, literally taking their seats away also. That is powerful. But I really like how the session has gone. Yes, young people from their little experience have shared a lot. Personally, you see, they're talking about procrastination and panic. I remember that campus very many years ago, and as I had to graduate, but as like no, graduation is not really a big thing because to graduate and be broke still. So they concentrate and just make money, and life happens. But as I went home one day and I found my father slashing the compound, telling me the tent will be here, I've already invited so and so for my graduation. So I had a lot of pressure because the Mosaic has invited people from villages. How am I going to tell him I'm not going to graduate? The guy is slashing the compound, painting the house. I'm like, me in my head, I'm like, man, this graduation, you can't push it small, small. So as just you're thinking that, just imagine you put that much pressure on yourself. You don't need external pressure to do that. Like you put it in your head that by this time I need to be done with this, or by December I need to have bought some land. I need to have this plan we make for the year. That the difference is normally we don't put pressure on ourselves. We wait for someone to put pressure on us. When I think Ashley was saying she gets leave on Mondays, I was like, I really know I want to know where she works. Because let me first look around. Yes, there is no Indian. If you work for these Asian friends of ours, they're Indians. You work on Monday to Sunday, and then on Monday, like at 4, like it calls when you're still sleepy. It's like, Peter, so at 7 we have a meeting, and they didn't tell you about this meeting. It tells you, I'll send you a document, please edit it and send it back to me for review. This is 4 a.m. in the morning, you're still sleeping, but you slept at midnight the previous night. So I think I'm really impressed when I see people, Ugandan people, who understand how work lives, stepping up to do things. Yes, because the other side, no, now Uganda needs to first rest, go small, small. Because even our judges, when they would dig and then rest. But in Indian, I don't know how they do it in their places. But you work from sunset to sundown, literally, full speed. And procrastination. We're going to, I think, we're going to Tungam for a function. And we're to, like I said, making some noises. If you don't even know how the brakes feel when they are worn out. So like, you know how Ugandans, until it dies, you don't repair. So we drove to Tungam, then our way back, reached Masaka, and this noise increased. But like, let's check it out. So we parked by a petrol station and checked. To check, the brakes were all gone. It was now metal on metal. And the mechanic told us if you'd have driven 1 more kilometer and you would have met your creator, literally. So procrastination at times is that life threatening because I think at times you think it's just about the money or procrastinating about a dream, but at times maybe your life. Things like going for health checkup. Of course, in Uganda we are not good at until you fall sick. To go to the doctor for what? Even name of the someone said, well, you'll keep getting what you're looking for. Going for a test every month. What are you looking for? If you wake up and you're breathing, you're walking, until you feel a sharp pain that is unbearable. That's when you go to the doctor. But I encourage everyone here to start planning, even for their lives. Your health. We talk about physical health. I work out a little bit. Me, I do some jogging here and there. But you can, of course, that's depending on where you stay, because some places have dogs. You may be jogging and you attract bagujas to chase you, and you get free exercise in the morning. So, but find a way, find a way. I know we are busy, especially in this COVID time where you leave home and cafes at 7, you can't go anywhere. But even on the weekend, find some time. But as of the view that you get a view about what they've said, but from an elderly person, someone who has lived this life with my experience. Mosaic, would you like to give us your thoughts about planning and procrastination? Let's welcome him as he comes to speak to us. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Procrastination. Chokere in Luganda, I think people can. Okuongeza yongezayo.
Good evening, and I think afternoon. Our guest, yes, it's a Peter. You have asked me to talk about
Planning and procrastination.
that word is
Procrastination.
exactly that one. What I know it means extending something you're supposed to have done when, like, you're supposed to do it and you don't do it. You say I will do it later. So for me, I think it has to be inbuilt it is like we live one day at a time, and later on composite itself into a lifestyle. So when you approach life a day at a time, later on it actually comes to a second, to a minute, to an hour, hours, and days, months, weeks, and years. And for me, I've been lucky enough. I have lived it. I never extend anything. If it means anything, I never stop to do what I'm supposed to do. I have lived it, I have seen it, and I am going to live it.
Powerful. I usually like to hear what the older generation needs to say because they've lived this life longer than I have. Have more experience. I used to wonder if people used to cry on their graduations. Someone's giving me a speech and they cry. I'm like, hey, why are you crying? It's just books. But then when I was graduating, when you sit there and remember maybe the sleepless nights, you remember all the hustle and then you just have to cry because really the hustle is real. But then you see that crying is a small thing. Like what I said, just one day at a time. You cry on your graduation, then you go and get a job, and then you can't cry at the job. But they actually have tears in your eyes because your boss is stressing you, telling you, where is this report? Where is what? They haven't asked you things you don't know. Me as new at the workplace, someone asked me a question I even never heard about the report. Told me, have you done it? I told him no. Say, I don't know what I even don't know what you're talking about. Like I've given 15 minutes, please figure it out and give me the report. The picture might I remember, God, I wasted my tears on my graduation party. Where was I crying? Books are a small thing in life. It's not even hard at all if you compare it to what the journey is ahead of you. But it's a good starting point. And me, I've learned personally to just live one day at a time. When today works, wait for tomorrow. But with proper planning, I think you move faster, you move bigger. Like Mosaic I said. But I think we have over talked. We need to first re-energize small. Our food is ready. Yes, I can see some people smiling, which is a good thing. Yes, our food is ready, and I'm going to ask this table just next to me to go first, pick up a plate of food, come back, and we shall go moving like that through the tables. Thank you very much. We shall go back to this gentleman who's giving us some warmth through our ears. Yes, thank you very much. Oh, I'd forgotten. All our planning. Very embarrassing, sorry. I remember the story of our chaplain at school. We used to pray for food like for 1 hour. He would pray from where you're going to walk from. You pray for the plates, for the folks, that the bones don't choke you. I'm like, boss, it is just food. You would thank God for the garden. And like, the food is here. God provided the rain a long time ago. But in that sense, pray. Let me make it short and sweet. Let's embrace and pray. Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for everyone who has made it here today. I want to thank you for the time we have so far had and to present the food we're going to have in your presence, God. Then may it be energizing, may it be fulfilling, and bless the hands that have prepared it. In Jesus' name I've prayed. Amen. I hope that was short enough for now. Yes, yes. Starting from here. From there, are you spirited? Oh, now we can move. Yes, starting from here, please. Thank you. You know, the time you have. Yeah.
All
But
the
you're good by now.
maps and the tentacles. All that remains is the false.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of born. You know, born. No, I came with you that day. I don't know if you were busy. Yeah, you must have been. So I like that you have to give your passion. You know, I need to give you. Because my passion. I give you passion. Of course, I'm not what. Not the mind. Yeah. Yeah, I do this for living, but also I do radio, do art, but I'm also doing stuff like smaller product design.
Promise.
I was going to get my tomorrow. This guy here. Okay. Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. You're so funny, by the way.
Yeah, this guy also.
There's a simplicity, humility to the way you love me, and honesty, purity. God, you make it easy. No special words, formulas, clever when you over. For your love is undeserved. Even when I can't see clearly, somehow you still make it easy. Your love's uncomplicated. You love me just the way I am. So I stand before you. I'm totally surrendered with open hands and open heart. Jesus, have your way in my brokenness, my loneliness, in the secrets you see, my deepest thoughts, my hidden wants. How you see right through me, even when I'm overthinking. Somehow you still love me simply. Your love's uncomplicated. You love me just the way I am. So I stand before you. I'm totally surrendered with open hands and open heart. Jesus, have your way in me. Ooh, ooh. Jesus, have your way in me. Ooh. Jesus, have your way in me. I can sing over and over. I love you. It never grows old. How could I tell you enough that I love you? I love you, Lord.
Your love's uncomplicated. You love me just the way I am. So I stand before you. I'm totally surrendered with open hands and open heart. Jesus, have your way in me.
What's up?
You're indescribable in every way. You search me out, now I'm caught up in your grace. I hear my name across the ocean. You pull me closer, the current change. You show me life, a new horizon, a silver lining, a brand new day. And I might go, I can't find the words to say. And oh, you're higher than all my ways, and Lord, it's you. You open my eyes to see and poured out your heart for me. My God, you're indescribable in every way. You search me out, now I'm caught up in your grace. I just can't fathom it. I can't make sense of how you left, so I deserve you never end. You're freedom, that living breathless. My glimpse of heaven is with you. And there's no final, this gracious rhythm. I lift my hands high. Now every time I go, I can't find the words to say. And oh, you're higher than all my ways, and Lord, it's you. You open my eyes to see and pour out your heart for me. My God, you're indescribable in every way. You search me out, now I'm caught up in your grace. I just can't find it. I can't make sense of how you left, so undeserving never ends. You're indescribable, ooh, ooh, ooh. So indescribable, ooh, ooh, ooh. You're indescribable, ooh, ooh, ooh. So indescribable, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect love took my place. Only Jesus, only grace. What compares? What compares? You call me, I will indescribable in every way. You search me out, and now I'm caught up in your grace. I can't make sense of how you left, so undeserving, never end, and never ends from you. So indescribable, ooh, ooh, ooh. You're indescribable, ooh, ooh, ooh. So indescribable, ooh, ooh, ooh. I was searching for something I knew was here but couldn't see. I remember the moment when the one I was searching for found me. I can make sense of it, no getting over it. How much your love changed everything. Oh, guess I know you now. How could I go without Jesus? You're more than enough for me. don't need anything else. I need your love. I need your love. I don't want anything else. But I need your love. I need your love. Yeah. God, I need you like water. God, I need you like I need it to breathe. I won't take you for granted. I won't go back to how I used to be. And I can make sense of it. Nobody knows how much your love changed everything. Oh, 'cause I know you know how good it go without Jesus. You're more than enough for me. I don't need anything else, but I need your love. I need your love. I don't want anything else, but I need your love. I need your love. There's just one thing I need. 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 I don't need anything else, but I need your love. I need your love. I don't want anything else, but I need your love. I need your love. I don't need anything else. I need your love. I need your love. I don't want anything else. I need your love. I need your love. It's like a river, you wash over me. Immerse me in water as deep as the sea. Hide me in love, your healing embrace. He's like a river, wash over me as I worship your majesty. Worship your holy name. Jesus, my everything. All that I am is yours. Come, Holy Spirit, rain down on me. Break open the heavens and drench the unseen. Oh, pour out your presence as I pour out your praise. Come, Holy Spirit, Lord, have your way. As I worship your majesty, I worship your holy name. Jesus, my everything. All that I am is yours. Open the heavens, fling wide the gates, flood every heart with mercy. Pour out your presence, inhabit our praise as we cry, holy, holy. Open the heavens, fling wide the gates, flood every heart with mercy. Pour out your presence, inhabit our praise as we cry, holy, holy. Oh, as we cry, holy, holy. Lord, send revival. Lord, send it now. Move of your spirit, heaven break out. Come now in power, cover this land like you've done it before. Would you do it again? Lord, send revival. Lord, send it now. Move of your spirit, heaven break out. Come now in power, cover this land like you've done it before. Would you do it again? Lord, have your
Peter. But I've said it so many times. If he says me around chat, then he has said me say my name so many times. Yeah, because I need that. So I've said my name more times than I can remember.
I don't want to be on my phone, but I can't.
Okay.
I can take another way. I'm trying to get somebody out, but it's not what I want. Tell me there's another way. All of the lies and chased and never faded. All the cheap thrills will only time wasted. Tell me what society's plan should define who I am. Surely there's a higher way. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. All of my best friends, all of my best friends. I don't want to stereotype to decide who I am. It never knew me anyway. I'm over trying to find the next half, cause the high never lasts. I'ma go another way. All of the lights are chased and now faded. Dilla was right, the times they are changing. Tell me what society's plan should define who I am. Surely there's a higher way. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. All my best friends, all my best friends. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. Na 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 na. I know it's you. Na 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 na. I know it's you. Na 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 na. I was running wild, fell in love with the chase. I went up and down and all over the place. Wasting all my days and nights, never feeling satisfied. Putting on a smile, I was keeping faith, but hesitating when I finally grace. All the things I left behind, the shadows now seem alive. In my head, my soul, in my heart, my heart. I know that I know, so good, so good. And never, never, ever, ever, everything over with you. And nothing will change it. All I can say is love so good, so good. I've got a million reasons why I can't be the same. You got me looking forward when I'm turning my pace. Forever gotta share
What's your thing called?
together till the end of time.
820.
In my head, in my soul, in my heart, my heart. I know that I know, never, ever, ever, ever found love so good, so good. And never, never, ever, ever, ever getting over living with you. And nothing will change it. All I can say is never, ever found love so good, so good.
I'm not from there, but I'm always there. Yeah, it's my when I get stressed, just get a global. And then I'm always on the road. I try to. When I get stressed, I just get that one. Android is a virgin. In terms of restaurant, there's a world outside your window, so don't let it pass you by. Lift your hands to the heavens, lift your voice to the sky. Praise the Lord of all creation. But the fact that it's now a city, if you go to Ginger, the Ginger of Nigeria, the original the Ginger of today, even Barora, good man, let's go there even before it became a city. And when you go to it, and they give you some sketchy food. But right now you can find out with some sensible stuff. The roads are better. So even in terms of like transportation, back then the only place you eat was buffalo. Literally, buffalo. Like it's a restaurant and bar. Like that's the only place you attack. Nah, you're viewing it too much now. 2.5 hectares. Solid 2.5. Their food is good, but of course anyway, let me not say I don't really like that. But I like the move that young people are no longer waiting for employment. That's how countries develop. You used to go to China, it's not the government who's developed the country. And even getting a job these days is also an extreme sport. Extreme sport. See the world one heart at a time. See the strong old break in the blink of an eye. Death and all I see, no inside. He is alive. See the world return from the dead of the night. Every captive free, every chain that behind. No, but I think seen such a beautiful sight. All the world. But then they made money for me. Then they you eat the wings, the necks. But yeah, I got the thigh, and I thank God for that. So, as we are still having our meals, I'm going to invite Pastor Bob. I know I've shocked you. Ibintu bya Mukama bibuzaabuza. Bibuzaabuza, just like that. Yes, Pastor Bob is going to just come and give us a spiritual perspective about planning. What is good? What does God have to say about planning and procrastination? Because the Bible actually has all these things written. The Bible says there's nothing new on the face of the earth. So let's not be here pretending that, hey man, we are doing something new. God doesn't. No, nothing. God knew would be here today. And so just help me welcome Pastor Bob to the stage to just bring it home. If that is the right word. Pastor Bob, you're welcome. Let's appreciate him as he comes, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, I said I'm going to go for the cake. No worries.
Thank you so much. What's the one?
My name is Peter, for those who have come late. Yes, and I'm the apostle of the day. Petero in Uganda. Yeah.
Let me hide my face from your COVID so that I don't leave you my COVID here.
Fully vaccinated.
Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much, all of us who have created time to come and be part of Sharon's book launch. And we thank God so much. For me, when I look at Sharon, I remember Sharon as a baby at Luvowa. At Luvowa, when the Rusangas were still, at that time we didn't even have the tiles. And Sharon was that little car moving up and down. And now Sharon is giving me an assignment to speak at her event. Basically, Sharon, congratulations. Let's appreciate Sharon. There are so many young people, so many teenagers, so many young adults. To find a young adult like Sharon and the journey she has walked, to be able to do something significant like this, I mean, it's rare. You know, some of us who have peeped into the Rusanga's family and know a little bit of her life journey. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you personally. But when they told me come, I just said, okay, I leave everything and just come. Because Sharon is special. This morning we were having a joke that, man, now you look at you. Even little sister in and she's like, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. They are as if they are competing with me to put me down. But just so you know, you're a big sister, and that's what it is. No one can compete with that space. No one can take it. And be proud of who you are, the way God has packaged you, and just know we love you. The Christian perspective of business. I was not here when Sharon was speaking. Has she spoken already?
Not yet.
She has not yet spoken. How could I speak before her? Okay, she speaks last because she's the boss. Okay. It is her event. There's a scripture in the book of Proverbs. Pardon me, I am not able to quote it. I don't want to quote a wrong one, and I go into the records of people who are quoting wrong scripture. But it talks about the ant, how the ant is so wise. During the season, I think it's somewhere in Proverbs chapter 6. I didn't come with my phone. I would have found it. It says, consider the ant. It does not work. It does not whatever. But during cold seasons, it's during summer, it stores food. So that in winter, when the snow is covering the earth, it doesn't have to come out to do what? To look for food. And it's cautioning us to be very keen
especially in the area of putting aside money for the difficult seasons that are unknown to us. When I think about life, I'll speak about life generally and who God has called us to be. Every single one of us was created for a purpose. I am standing here as one who serves as a pastor. You are in your different vocations, and every one of you has your responsibility, your potential, and everything that God has assigned you to do. But to discover your potential, some of us have bumped into it, some of us have worked hard at it, some of us have found ourselves somewhere. I've learned to say in the past years that for us to discover our potential, we need to be able to pay attention to the things that we love doing, the things that we can do without being paid, and we can comfortably be like Petero. I hope Petero is not being paid. Like we can be like
Petro is being paid.
Petero is being paid.
Yes.
I told him. Yeah? Like Pastor Frobisha, you can do things like Pastor Frobisha and look after young people, and you do not expect a payment.
I don't to confuse people.
That's one of the pointers that can lead us to our potential, who and what God has called us to do. When we discover that who we are, then we need to work out the details to thrive in the who we are. We cannot thrive by just saying, me, I'm a pastor, I will just be a pastor. That's what God called me to be, I am. I need to be able to study the word, prepare myself, pray, spend time with God, and be able to have what to give to people when I am called to speak to people. For a business person, for you to thrive in the business, having discovered the goal or the potential or the calling, you need to be able to learn how to do business. Every time you fail to do business the right way, the math will just knock you out, because the numbers really matter when it comes to business. If you don't pay attention to the inputs and the outputs, zero balance awaits your statement at the end of the month. What am I trying to say? For us to be able to thrive in our different vocations and our calling, or having discovered who we are and who God has called us to be, then we need to pay attention to setting goals and priorities, and make sure that we are keen on making sure that we are making progress. It does not just happen. You have to pay attention to the detail and make some input into what you want God to see you achieve in this life. If I am, let me flip to sports. I think it's the easiest for us to use as an illustration here. If I am a sports person and I want to thrive in the sports of, for example, soccer, I need to pay attention to the detail of doing exercises, doing training every day. I do not just wake up and go to the sports field and play soccer. I'll be a soccer player, but I may never become a soccer star. When it comes to my health, I need to pay attention to the details of who I am and where I want to be. I have a goal every morning to keep myself healthy at 55, still wearing size 30 since I married my wife 20 years ago. I do exercises. It is intentional. It does not just happen. I do 300 press-ups before I bathe in the morning. I do 300 press-ups before I bathe at night. Before I knock 300, I do not take a shower. I have made a goal for myself and I achieve it. Sometimes I do 350, sometimes I do 360, sometimes I do 300. It cannot be less than 300. A few months ago, I was not doing 300. I was I was so embarrassed when we were doing the press up challenge. We did a 25 press up challenge here. I felt so embarrassed. I was panting. At 15, I was like, hey, hey. At 20, I was like, hey, hey. I was so embarrassed. I'm actually looking for that video because it was published. I said to myself, I cannot fail to do 25 press ups. There's something wrong with my health. From that time, I started a journey of doing 15, 20, 25, 30, 50,
I wonder.
70, 90, 100, like that. So I do my sets of 300 until and I have a goal. I may not achieve it, but I'm working towards it. Before the fall of this year, I have only 2 weeks to go. My target is to hit 500 press ups in the morning before I bathe, and 500 in the evening before I bathe. I may not achieve it. That is okay. The goal in itself is not the end. No? The goal is not to show off or what. The goal is to make sure I'm achieving my target. If I do not achieve my target, I will know that I still have a lot of work to do. But I'm clearly not going to be doing 25 press-ups at the end of this year. What am I saying? I discovered a challenge. I identified a need for myself, and I worked towards achieving. You hear 300 before I bathe, you're like, hey, God, there are too many. But there has to be a beginning. There has to be a foundation of sorts. We have to start somewhere. End of the day, if I have a dream, I want to do business, I want to write a book, you have to start from where the challenge begins. For me, my challenge started at 25 press ups. The embarrassment that came with it. Today, I have been able to work towards becoming better, and I can now say I do 350. Where are you going to start? What do you need to do to start? I'll tell you what, start at the prompting of your heart. If you are prompted to start, start now. Consider the sluggard. Consider the ants. They do not sow, they do not reap, but during the seasons, they are able to have what to eat. Why? They store up food for the time that they will need it. If we do that, I believe God will make us a better people. I do not know whether I'm encouraging you.
Yeah.
But I want to invite Sharon. Sharon, I think I am inviting you, right?
Yes, it's okay.
Let me steal his show.
Wasn't mine to start with.
Let us give her another special. Writing a book starts with how many pages?
One.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Different approaches that people use. By the grace of God, I've written one, published one. I am on the second book publishing process. I've finished the initial publishing process. I'm getting feedback, and I've started responding to the questions. And the title of the book is Seasons. You have been in the past season. You are now in a new season as a writer. Don't be a one-hit wonder. May the Lord bless you so much. God bless you so much.
Wow. I do not think I can top that, but let me try. Let me try. emotional. Anyway, thank you all. That's okay. Anyway, thank you all for coming. What an honor that you have honored my invitation. Now, Judge has made me.
You want a petrol?
No.
You should come closer with something. Stay here. Start with
Anyway, I've gained momentum now. I've gotten back my mind. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for honoring my invitation. Thank you for being so kind to create time out of your busy schedules just to be here for me and show me your support. It means the world to me. She reminds me of my makeup. That's a very good. It actually reminds me of today afternoon. Daddy was like, "But young girl, how long do I have to wait more for you to come?" But here I am, here is the event, and here you are, and nothing makes my heart happier than just seeing you guys here with me today. It is a big milestone for me, and of course, I cannot attribute it to myself, but to the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, who has brought me this far. Actually, the makeup is coming off. The Lord that has graced me this far to actually start this journey of my dreams, of my big dreams and future and vision for myself, for my family, and for the community around me. Before I forget, as we are talking about the community around me, I am not alone in this. I have an organization that I've partnered with, and it's called WAPI. I hope I've pronounced it well. Is it WAPI or WAPI? WAPI, yes. Yes, I'm in partnership with WAPI into creating more jobs for the people around us. Just like me, I've just come out of campus. I've just finished campus. There are definitely so many people I have left back at school, and there's so many other people joining us at campus. So what impact can I give to the what impact can I bring to the community under my company and organization, Ascending Accent, that has been launched today? It will not only be something that makes me money. We all want to make money. I want to make money. I want to be so rich. So I don't want to be rich alone. It's quite cold at the top. I want to be one remembered for impact, not just one that made money. I want one remembered for impact and the impact of the people I left behind me. They usually say, no, actually, Pastor Jimmy, our total youth pastor, said to me, "You are not of impact if the people you have left behind you cannot be better than you." You know? So you have to provide the platform, teach them your ways, lead them before. I've gone through a few setbacks that I'm sure if someone had told me, I wouldn't have to go through. So that is the platform I'm offering to WAPI and creatives out there, to be able to create planners, create journals, create stationery just like me, and let's make money out of this, right? Yes. Let's make money out of this. And yeah. So I had to check my notes a bit anyway. Am I still in the frame? Okay. If I'm still in the frame, that is good. I started Ascending Accent this this year. Let me not lie. I had the idea 2 years ago, but I started it this year. And if I started my dreams this year, so can you. Ascending accent, of course, ascending in the dictionary term means going up. And accent is the difference we have in each other. My accent is different from her accent. And I realized that when I went to Kenya. I'm like, oh, you have a Ugandan accent. Oh, you have a Rwandan accent. I'm like, first of all, I don't have an accent, but of course you can't know your accent. So it showed how different we were as people. So ascending accent is how different are we growing together. That is the vision of ascending accents. How can we grow together? How can we benefit together in our differences? Are we together? Let's hear. Yes. Yes, so that is ascending accent for you. We do create planners, journals, and stationery at large. Of course, we have started small and we have started from our very first planner, planning for big dreams. Yes, planning for big dreams one day at a time. Look at God. Look at God, like see God. You know, when I think about the first time I told actually Esther, I'm like, Esther, I want to create it because she created a journal. I'd been thinking about it, but I was like, you see, procrastinating on your dreams. No one is chasing after you to get your dreams done, get your things, pushing. So I was in no hurry whatsoever, despite the fact that I had thought about it almost 2 years ago. So I met Esther in a restock. She doesn't know how fundamental that time was for me as well. I'm like, if someone can do it, even I can do it. You know? So that's another thing. If I can do it, I want to encourage other creators there. Even you can do it. It is very simple. It is not impossible, but it's not easy. Yes. It is not impossible, but it's not easy. So it is very, very possible to have your dreams come to life. So I meet Esther. She's like, I've done it. So a year later, I'm like, Esther, me too, I want to do something like this, like this, like this. How can I make it work? She's like, me, I have a designer. I'm like, okay, I like that. She refers me to her designer. Guys, it wasn't cheap. Mm, I go see him with, hey, Mike Asigidi. I went, I saw him. He gave me a quote. I was like, let me come back. Let me come back. Could I afford it? Probably yes. I could afford it. But then I was like, this money. Guys, I sat in my sitting room back in Nairobi and I actually designed this thing myself. And I'm trying to tell someone out there, University of YouTube actually works. University of YouTube actually works. Plus, I studied journalism at university. That means we do have a few courses here and there with design and print. But of course, they do not teach you the concrete information that can let you maybe design on your own. So I had to get backup from University of YouTube. And it did work. It did work. And I did my first planner. When I took it to someone, they were like, what is this? Things are not proportional. The colors, you have used so many colors. Anyone that knows me knows I love color. So I put green there, I put yellow, I wanted to go all out on it. And imagine I printed it. I went the extra mile to print it, not a bulk, just a sample. And I was so excited about it, but it did come out the way I wanted it. That is a very good point to be like, okay, you know what, I think this is not for me. Let me just, go to the next thing. I can do other things. I can speak. I can probably tailor. I mean, there's so many things you can do. But I was like, you know what? If I give up now, what is the use? Why have I spent? Because I was doing school. I do work. So basically, I was doing this thing in the night, where I had to put in the extra time, the extra hours, in order to uh, have it done, have it designed, thinking about how to get this thing done. So definitely, it wasn't one that I did in my free time. I did when I had the time. You understand? So, uh, so with that being said, I want to talk about when you have a plan. I didn't just sit on a laptop and just start it. I had to sit down, draw sketches. The sketches I took to Esther's designer were already drawn on paper. That is the plan. You're like, okay, I want this to look like this. So I sketched it out. I want this to look like this. So I sketched it out. Until I came up with something I actually wanted. You understand? So if I wanted this and I can't have it here, how else can I have it? You see, you can have a plan, but your directions are the little steps you take daily. Me staying up at night, me taking it to this one, me having second opinions. All these are tiny steps or tiny little, what do I call them? Visions to your main vision and your main dream. So I think I should just hold my book at this rate. And you can hold it for me. Thank you. So I would like to leave you guys with just an idea of out with the old. If you live here without anything, or if you live here with anything, live with this. Out with the old and new, in with the new. Pardon me. Out with the old, in with the new. It's never too late to start. It's never too, oh, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I'm too busy. If something matters to you, you will make time for it. You will definitely make time for it. So when you are preparing, you have to start from somewhere, of course. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to start from somewhere. At this rate, let me hold for myself. Yes. At this rate, let me hold my I fired her just like that. You have to definitely start from somewhere. I want to say I'm a prayerful girl. Let me blow that horn and say I'm a prayerful girl. But there are some things you don't have to pray about. We can't always be praying. Some things God wants us to just do. It reminds me of the story of Noah. Yeah? God tells Noah, you have to build an ark. Imagine if as Noah I would like pray for more guidance. Don't you say that? I'm waiting for God to speak to me. I'm waiting for God to tell me, give me direction. These things are good. But when God gives you direction, it's now your mandate to actually make it come to life. And Noah actually does this thing, builds this ark. And scholars of the day used to say that it had never rained. In Noah's time, it had never rained. So imagine planning for something that you've never seen. That is like planning for your dreams. It's something you have never seen for yourself. You've never actually actualized it. So for you to actually say, you know what, I'm going to plan for something that I've never seen. I'm going to plan for something. I'm going to work towards something that may or may not happen. But imagine sitting 5 years, 10 years down the road and saying, how could this have happened? Or you never know, I would have been Bill Gates of my time if I had actually put in the daily steps, you know? So this thing about planning, it's not something small. For me, I take it so seriously that I want my kids to benefit from. I want my grandkids to benefit from. I want my entire family to benefit from, you know? And when I think about this whole planning thing again, I'm still reminded by the I'm still reminded by the story of the brides who are waiting for the groom in the Bible. Planning is like keeping your midnight oil. It's like saying, I'm preparing for the rainy days, I'm preparing for the sunny days, and I'm preparing for the windy days. That is what planning is. But before you know it, 5 brides didn't have enough fuel. They had to go back. And by the time they came back, see, the groom had gone. It was too late. Now imagine you are 70 years old and you just in your house, just wondering what your life could have been if you actually put in the work of planning. And it all starts from somewhere. I could be telling you about this whole big ass dream. Did I just say that? This anyway, I can be telling you about this dream, but I'm telling you today it's impossible to get that dream done if you don't put in the daily works of preparing, if you don't put in the daily works of planning. These things are done daily. These steps are taken daily. These steps are taken consistently. Consistent is something I believe in. In anything I do, it is something I believe in, and it's something that is nurtured. You don't wake up consistent. Trust me, in the beginning it's gonna be a bit messy. In the middle, you feel like you're getting a hang of it. It becomes messy again, but that is the essence of consistency. It is putting in the work even when you don't want to put in the work. It is going to work when you don't want to go to work. It is staying up when you want to sleep. You get? So, yeah, I'm praying that each and every one of you, you go back home and say, what have I always wanted to do? What have I always wanted to do with my life? And once you get that, because it's always about your own why, not about mine. I know my why, and you can't follow my why because my why is something that probably is dented into my family, it's dented into my faith, it's dented into my future. So all these whys are quite different. So when you go home, look for your why and then start planning for your life. Plan for your life. Plan for your life. And I say it again, plan for your life. Planning is preparing, and preparing is actually setting a foundation for your future. Once you set the foundation for your future, once you get your mental health in check, once you get your physical health in check, all these things go into the nitty gritty of your planning day to day life. Planning is just not using a planner, it is actually having the desire to use the planner. It starts from having the desire to use the planner. Yeah. So I know it can be a bit overwhelming in the beginning, but I urge you to just face yourself, you know, face yourself, face your finances, face your fears, face your dreams. They can be big. Just face them and say, you know what, here I am. What do you have for me, and what do I need to do? You know. So it's all about consistency. It's all about self-discipline, and trust me, it will all come to place. I mean, look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at this. For me, it's just overwhelming me. When I came here early in the morning, I was like, is this thing really going to happen? Are people going to come? But there are no empty seats. We had to add more seats because people actually came. Yeah? So thank you guys for coming. And I just want to put out a special thank you to my parents for genuinely supporting me. I had to say it last because I didn't want to spoil my speech by being emotional again. Because I wanted to do it earlier. I'm like, I'm going to be emotional. I knew my parents were supportive, like they have supported everyone around them. But for me this time, overwhelming, mind blowing, and makeup. Just the other day, when was it? Wednesday, when I came from NASA, my dad, my mom, we were in the bedroom planning like what, till 3 a.m. Can you imagine? These people have jobs. Mommy, I think, put her life on hold just for me to have this. And I would like to say, I promise I'll never disappoint you. I will. I promise never to disappoint you. I promise to be a good example to my siblings. And I promise to raise the Rusanga flag high. So, I could go on and on, but I want to just say thank you again for coming.
The problem starts with your mother. Everybody cries.
Anyway. Oh my god. Guys, but thank you all. I just can't say thank you. I wish I could just give each and every one of you a thank you hug, but Corona. And I just want to say thank you. God bless you. God remember you. And may your dreams actually come true. Just like mine have started.
Bana, a round of applause, Bana. Yay! Yeah. You see, I'm older than Sharon, but I'm now inspired by the younger generation. Made I'm like, this younger. I must have been like in P5 when she was born, and she's just saying things that I don't know. We have been this whole time. But I'm really glad. I'm really glad. I saw Sharon when she was still in VAC. She would come to church. They would do some dancing here and there, some of production. So as I said, hey, this is the same girl I know. Who's just come around, Smanya, do some designs because she used to help out with the costume that he doing more production. I'm like, oh, this girl has grown and she's now a lady. I can't even do. I'm sorry for calling her a girl. The lady who has just spoken has spoken very well. Let's add another round of applause. Yes. Hey, powerful stuff. And I really, you see, it's really from right away. Musuma first came here and told us 300 push-ups. It made us, I was like, yeah. Musuma is 55. I'm not halfway there before. And I'm like, I can't, you just do 200. You know, you first look for a glass of water, but Musuma, I want to start. I mean, I'm serious now. 300 before I shower, you know. Okay, not like, okay. But I'll start. I'll not reaching 300 may anyway. We shall see when we get there. But also all the people, everyone who is here. I just encourage you. From what Pastor Bob said and from what Sharon had said, to just step up in whatever field you're in. I'm sure you can always do better. Because there are times you feel like, man, we have done the best we can. But you know, Jesus came to earth, performed miracles, raised the dead, and I think people who are in that time said, "Man, this guy can't do any other miracle. Like he has overdone himself. Then he said to die for us and save us from our sins to just see it off." So there's always something more you can do in whatever field you're in. If you're a doctor, they have been striking meanwhile. But yes, if you're an engineer, whatever field you're in, I just encourage you to just do it. And people behind that, because I think Sharon's siblings who are still in school, I think you've seen the level is now really high. Mommy and daddy's expectations are now not, they are very high. I'm telling you, my father put me on pressure when he slashed the compound even before I graduated. Tell man that it is going to be there. We invited Uncle so and so. Meanwhile, me, I not even started doing my pioneer project. Maybe I'm like, Mosaic, you know that I'm not even graduate. My results are not even out. So, but that kind of pressure is good, by the way. Having a big sister you can look up to. My big sister is a lawyer. Yes, but me, I couldn't do law. I could not. I just like, man, you're doing a good job, but yeah, keep doing it. I'm not training you. But yes, I got inspired. She got government sponsorship when she was going to MOOC. And I'm like, even if you think that's actually possible, you get it? I read hard. Like the hard, okay, not okay. But yeah, I read hard. Really hard. I didn't get the government sponsorship, but I passed. Because I'll tell people my point and they tell you, no, you're lying now. So I started moving out with my index number. Someone, I just say, man, yeah, you send a message yourself. Yeah, I'll just drop that in, like, you send a message, then let your name confirm. But I'm really glad that young people from WAPI, the young people also, They've probably just left campus. She told us she's actually finalizing the final project, and they're really doing something to change the community. So everyone here, not young, and I'm glad every generation is represented here. We have the our people from the what these days they call, I think, is it primary school? Yeah, junior. I don't know. My neck is gonna be a choka. First, used to go to primary school. These days, it's not primary school. In my nursery, when I was young, went to nursery school. This is called kindergarten, pre-primary. Let's take it. But yes, but I'm glad we're all represented, and all of us, from the youngest to our granny here who sang for us very well, and I'm sure everyone. Yeah, louder, please, louder, please, louder, please. Because I was like, I can't sing, uh, but I can do a poem, yes? Those people come and say, don't mind the voice, mind the message. Me, I just do a poem and say, but I want to thank each and every one of you for making your time to come and pass by busy schedules, this COVID, this curfew, but you made time and came. And to thank everyone and to thank our DJ. Please clap for him, ladies and gentlemen. He has done a very good job. I want to thank the people who are in charge of the food. Please clap for them because they're done an amazing job. Our decorator, I don't know. Let's clap for Potato Church has really availed space for us. And Uncle Frog is here to represent. Just clap and appreciate them for that. Yes, right now, I'm going to invite back Sharon to just come and wrap this thing up. She has like a special message for each and every one of us. Yeah, she still put him. Okay, yeah, powerful. No, the makeup is ready. Yeah, kitegeera ne kahiru kali kavuddevuddemu. Yes, please.
I do not have a special message. I have the ending prayer. I would like to close it myself as well. So can we kindly humble ourselves for prayer? King of glory, we bless you, we worship you, we give you all the glory and all the honor. Thank you for loving me this much. Thank you for loving each and every one here, King of glory. Thank you for being with us throughout this ceremony.